Okay, welcome to the Fife Property market. This is right across the whole market itself. This is showing you everything that's happening right now in the last week. This is from the 20th of January to yesterday, the 3rd of February. Okay, we're going to talk in detail about what's the monthly figures, the weekly figures, and then we're going to look at what's actually sold last week for us personally, what's coming onto the market. So listen out for that, and then what's actually over the line, keys handed over. A couple of shows I'm going to talk about. I'm also going to talk about the Zoopla House Price Index. This is quite interesting reading actually. It's quite a concerning reading actually, but I need to give it some depth and detail in here. So let's crack on and look across the whole of the Fife property market. Let me just get some graphics up here so we can see this. I'll just zoom in, and here we go. Let's get this up and share screen. And here we go. Here we are right here. Let's just drill down into these numbers right now. Now, okay, this is the weekly figures for last week across all the estate agents. Quite interesting reading because it's now the tide has turned. So the first few weeks, for the first 3 weeks of January, it was really buoyant. It was more sold than actually listed, but it's kind of changed right now. There's more instructed now, so there's more properties coming into market. This falls in line with what Zoopla says actually, and I'll be commenting on that soon. And actually less actually sold, so the supply is outstripping demand. Okay, so there you go, right across the region. So you can see there, Cooper 13 properties came on the market, 7 actually sold. East Neuk 4 came on, 1 sold. St Andrews 7 came on, 6 sold. Levenmouth 15 versus 8. So you can see significantly in these areas. Dunfermline still bucking the trend. Really good market. And you'll see on the monthly figures when I go through them after this. And Glenorchy 13 versus 16, and Kirkcaldy 23 versus 27. Overall, 120 properties from all the estate agents last week according to Rightmove, listed on Rightmove, their customers' properties. 97 actually sold in the same week, not the same properties, but 97 properties sold. So it kind of shows us, as I said, supply and demand. Let's just jump on to the monthly figures. Now, this is interesting reading. Now, if you look individually, in the Cooper area, 32 properties came on, 26 sold, so 81%. Now, 81% is kind of the benchmark. 81% is actually doing quite well because 19% of that are 19%. That incorporates people are expected to leave Fife and go and work somewhere else and live somewhere else, and also possibly deceased estates as well. So that's why 81% is usually the benchmark. Hence the reason why, roughly on average, in the month of January, if we take 408 and divide it by 4, which is about 4 weeks, about 100 properties came to market, and then about just under 100 actually sold. So we take 408, divide it by the 4, yeah, okay. 408 divided by actually 31, divided by 31 because 31 days. 13 properties came on every single day in Fife, while just under 13 properties actually sold. So kind of like for like, but you can see the one that's bucking the trend, Dunfermline. Look at 136 came on, 108 to 1 sold. I drilled into these numbers a bit more before this, and I'm thinking, really? That's unusual for the Dunfermline area, how 133%, 181 sold and actually 136 listed. What is happening in Dunfermline that we don't know about? Is it just a temporary surge in the month for the start of the year and everybody in Dunfermline has decided to buy? People are relocating from outside the area, possibly decided Dunfermline's an easier fit for them, less of, easier affordable, according to, things like buying in Edinburgh and that. So maybe Dunfermline's the best opportunity for people. But it's interesting. So East Neuk, you can see, just jumping back to there, 16 came on, 10 actually sold, 63%. That's just a lot less than usual. St Andrews, 31 versus 17. So St Andrews market is actually declining quite a lot. Levenmouth, 46 versus 37, 80%, which is even Stevens. Dunfermline, again, bucking the trend, as I said. Glenorchy, 63 versus 48. Kirkcaldy, 84 versus 75. So 76 and 89% in terms of demand, which is reasonable for the area. But in the month overall, 97% demand, which is actually quite good for the Fife area. Interestingly enough, we'll see what Zoopla is about to say. Let's talk about Zoopla right now. And I'll be doing a show in more depth and detail on Tuesday. I think I've got this scheduled for. So this is the Zoopla House Price Index. It's interesting here. When I do this summary, this will give you a good insight into what Zoopla's thoughts are and also what they see in the data and the analytics coming through. So their executive summary goes on to say house price inflation moderates to minus 8%. 0.8%, sorry, not minus 8%, minus 0.8% on rising sales volumes. Now, if we drill down, I'll just quickly drill down so there's no frighteners here. If we look at the Scottish area, according to Zoopla, Scottish house prices have gone up 1.8% according to their data. So there's nothing to be concerned about in Scotland. However, England is obviously doing a price realignment, price adjustments now. They're really reducing their prices. They go on to say, Zoopla goes on to say, strong seasonal rebound in sales activity in the first weeks of January, which we saw on the back of a pent-up demand and sub 5% mortgage rates. So mortgage rates have come down in the last couple of months as more banks have actually readjusted their mortgage rates to take into account the fact that they think that base rates have actually peaked out, and actually lending into bank is actually still really good between the banks and the city itself. Zoopla then goes on to say demand up 12% year on year. So demand is up 12%, but it's really led by London and the east of England. That's because they're readjusting their prices and they're actually bringing them down in the English market. Sales agreed up year on year, 13% year on year. Sales across all regions. Don't read too much into that. Remember, this is the start of the year. Available homes for sale over 20% higher than a year ago. So there's 20% more stock on the market for buyers to look at than there was over a year ago, this time last year. Now, as they go on to say, it's important not to overinterpret the positive start to the year. There is some upside for sales volumes, but according to Zoopla, it remains a buyer's market. Now, in Scotland and in Fife, it's still slightly a seller's market, moving into a balanced market overall, but it's the English market is actually bringing these numbers down, because remember, this is a broad UK spectrum from Zoopla. They go on to say, though, a fifth of sellers having to accept more than 10% below the asking price to secure a sale, closer to 1 in 4 across southern England itself. So that's Zoopla's thoughts on that. And as I said, I'll do a detailed summary of that in early this week. And drill down into these numbers. Got lots of charts, lots of graphs, lots of information and data to support what we talk about right now. Let's just quickly come back to what's actually sold last week. So sales, let's pop back to the screen as we see here. Okay, let's jump onto here. This is sold. So this tells you about price points and what they're going for and how quick they're going for at these particular price points. This is the Barney Millgate and Cooper. This was a one-bedroom Georgian studio apartment listed offers over 88,000. It's sold in 4 days, and you know, these type of properties are actually really, really sought after. If you've got a property like that, that's the kind of price point you're getting at this point in time for a studio flat, Georgian style, in the Cooper area. So good price point overall. Main Street in Lower Largo, that's away. So this went away. It took roughly over a month to sell. A one-bedroom ground floor apartment listed at offers over 165,000. So that went away in just over a month to sell, and it was offers over 165,000 for a one-bedroom ground floor apartment, Main Street in Lower Largo. That's what we're getting for these types of properties at this point in time. Okay, let's talk about what's actually coming to market. I'll quickly jump onto this one. Now, this is actually quite controversial. This is all about why you shouldn't sell your Fife home in 2024. We did this during the week, Richard and I, about this, why you shouldn't be selling your Fife home in 2024 and the reasons behind it, and then the demographics and the statistics and analytics behind it. And if you want to know more about that, just click on this post above and drill through, and you'll get the article itself. Now, you can listen to the podcast, you can watch the show again, or you can just read the article, which takes 3 or 4 minutes to read overall. It's a really good article, especially if you're considering selling, because it gives you a real good insight about why you possibly might not sell just now and should not sell just now. That's key in information. Why would an estate agent tell you that? Because we're here to give you the right advice, and then it's up to you to base what you want to do on the facts rather than just opinion and what you think it's like at this point in time. It's all about facts and data and analytics. It will help you make an informed decision rather than just an opinion decision. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're not very sure about what to talk about right here, reach out to us, ask us about it, and we'll give you more information on what we're talking about and give it a clearer picture for you, especially, as I said, if you're selling right now. Okay, what's coming to market? Watch out for these ones. Orchard House, Orchard Grove and Leavin, 1-bedroom ground floor apartment will be coming soon. High Street in South Crail, I actually did that recently, 3-bedroom upper apartment. Lethen Fuse Caravan Park in Cooper Road and Leavin, 2-bedroom lodge has just been, just come on actually. A lot of these are pre-portals, just come on last week. Trade Street in Kilrenny, if you didn't see that house, this has got a master ensuite. In other words, it's got a living room, it's got a dining room, and it's also got a bedroom with an ensuite shower room upstairs. This is perfect for somebody that just wants their own space. And then it's got 3 further double bedrooms downstairs, the kitchen, and then it's got a bathroom downstairs, and then also it's got the main sitting room. Beautiful back garden as well, nice and enclosed, sits in the sun all day long, and it's in a great location in Kilrenny, just opposite Cellar Dyke. Great, brilliant location, countryside. Okay, Hawthorne Street in Methil, 3-bedroom semi-detached house will be coming soon. Windsor Gardens, St Andrews, a 3-bedroom. This was actually a 3-bedroom extended semi-detached. So it's 3-bedroom, 2 reception, extended semi-detached property. Actually, I just did a pre-portal on that. I think it was actually Thursday or Friday. So if you're not sure about that one and you're wanting to find out more details, watch the pre-portal on our St Andrews Fife Properties page. And actually, you'll get more insight and you'll get your tour right through, and you'll hear about price point. Stobcross Road in Markinch. Again, I did a pre-portal about that recently. 2-bedroom semi-detached house. That's a beauty. Wait till you see that back garden. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know you've not got access to the back garden via anything, but the back garden is big enough that you could put another house in that back garden comfortably, but you won't get access, so you'll not get permission for it. But it's a big garden for this type of property. It sits in the sun all day long, so watch out. That's on the Glenrothes Facebook page. Denville Gardens in Kennaway, 4-bedroom detached bungalow. Cooper Road, Kennaway, 2-bedroom detached bungalow. Lilac Bank, Methil, a 3-bedroom semi-detached house. Taping Close in Cellar Dyke, a 3-bedroom detached house. This is one of these big, huge ones. Big, huge property in Taping Close. I'll be doing a pre-portal on that, I think, this week for that one. Okay, Coldstream Park in Leaven, 4-bedroom detached house. If you're looking for a perfect family home in the Leavenmouth area, Coldstream Park in Leaven, the 4-bedroom detached house that we're putting on could be the one for you. Finally, Coronation Crescent in Leaven. There's a 3-bedroom end terraced house will be coming on as well as another couple have signed up. And there's actually people at this point in time just emailed me and told me they're ready to go in places like Strathkinnis, in places like St Monans. And so watch out for these ones as well. Remember to follow our Facebook pages. You find out about them there on the Facebook pages first before anything else. That get uploaded to there, all our properties, 5 to 6 working days before it actually goes onto our website. So you get your golden opportunity to get there before anyone else if this is your dream home. If you're not fast, you're last, remember. And make sure you're in a position to proceed as well. If you're not sure what to talk about making sure you're in a position to proceed, reach out to us again, as I said, and contact us about it. And we'll tell you what you need to do to make sure you're on point. So when you do make an offer, you're more likely to get accepted before someone else. Okay, quickly, let's jump on to another show during the week. Richard and I did this yesterday about landlords in trouble. Are you a landlord in trouble? I think most landlords at this point in time are having a real tough time with the legislation in Scotland. So this is how this show is all about. An article we've written on here is all about how we come to the rescue and stop things going wrong as in property letting. We talk about how not to leave yourself open for a fine, about renewing tenancies at a rent possibly that's too low, and how to avoid that. Being unable to get their tenants out when it all goes wrong. Remember, it's a last resort. It's only when it all goes wrong that's the only reason you would have to do that. Also about disputes over damages, in case deposit disputes, and most landlords out there are actually following the legislation. But again, you don't know what you don't know. So are you accidentally breaking the law? And we talk about that in this article. We also talk about it in the podcast and the show itself. So if you're a landlord or you're thinking about being a landlord, I would advise you watch that show. It's not just for Fife. It's right across the UK this applies to. That's what we talk about. It's a huge insight into it. I've done this for 30 years as a landlord and investor myself. I've got a big portfolio, probably one of the biggest in Scotland. So I maybe know a thing or two, and that's what we share and impart to our landlords and tell them what they should be doing, and of course what they shouldn't be doing as well. So make sure if you're a landlord, read the article, click on the link as I said, and then you'll see the one that's relevant to you, and you can follow through to that one itself. What is completed for us before we finish? So last week completed, Ladyburn Place, Skinner Steps, Cooper. This was a 1-bedroom, first floor apartment, and it sold in 2 weeks originally for just under the home report value. This is where property prices are going right now. They're just round about home report, under home report, or just over home report. The only way you're going to get an exceptional figure over your home report value at this point in time is if you've got an exceptional house and that person is the one that wants yours. And more importantly, they've actually got the money to afford it and they're in a position to proceed. So take that under advisement. And then the next one was West Street in St Monans, 3-bedroom apartment. It actually sold in 3 weeks and actually sold for 20% over the home report value. So there, that was one that somebody definitely wanted. So this one sold at West Street in St Monans, a 3-bedroom upper apartment. It was sold for in 3 weeks for 20% over the home report value. It just shows you if you've got the right property and somebody's got the right circumstances, you can make a match made in heaven, and that could happen for you. You could get that an offer like that just now. So that represented to our seller another £40,000 more than the home report value in their hand. Okay, that's finally, as I said, Wealth Creation Show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about this, Richard and I, Wealth Creation Show. What are we going to be talking about? Don't kid yourself. No, that's what we're talking about. Sorry. That's what we're talking about tomorrow on the Wealth Creation Show. We do Wealth Creation Shows all the time, but the Wealth Creation Shows are to impart knowledge and expertise, and for Richard and I to have a discussion between ourselves and to learn, and at the same time, and people join in as well. So what do we talk about in the Wealth Creation Show? Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about don't kid yourself. So what do I mean by that in the Wealth Creation Show? Well, have you ever thought that you could be actually kidding yourself? When it comes to your personal and even professional life, do you actually lie to yourself? Do you tell yourself rational lies? Do you rationalize things? We all do it in some shape or form, but we don't realize we're doing it, but we don't realize the harm it does out of it. If you're being truthful, the answer is more likely yes. People do this all the time, and we do bend the facts. Not me personally, but we tend to bend the facts in our minds, and we don't realize what we're doing because it's a self-protection system, and it perpetuates our view of ourselves that is more often positive, more positive than accurate itself. So tomorrow we're going to be explaining how and why we like to kid ourselves and what you need to do about it in order to create more wealth in your life and move on in your life and have a better quality of life as a result. And once you realize where you are and you take stock of where you are, it's easy to build on that. If you keep being in this position where you keep kidding yourself, you're never going to build on anything because you don't know the foundation you need to build on in the first place. And that's the key, hence the reason why we talk about it a lot in the Wealth Creation Show. So that's 12:30 tomorrow. You can see across all the channels, personal profile. Again, it's on here, on my personal profile. It's on our YouTube channel. It's on our TikTok channel. It's on our Instagram channel, all at the same time, running live. You can tune into that. It will be shared to our office pages, but it's a personal project between Richard and I, and we do share it with other people just because you may as well find out about it, you may as well know about it, and it might add some sort of value to somebody's journey in the life itself. So tune into that tomorrow. You're going to have further questions, as I said, please feel free to reach out about selling your house, about buying houses, about mortgages, about buy-to-let, about being a landlord, about, you know, being a tenant, all the rest of it. More than happy to help. And until next time, guys, I'm Jim Parker for Fife Properties TV. I'm going to say a quick thank you to Lewis Henney. Lewis has actually provided a new backdrop. I'm just going to share it again. Let me share it and see if I could let you see if I can get you up in front of you. If anybody knows Lewis, you could tag him in this post. I'll probably tag him in later on anyway. But it's a fantastic backdrop. Lewis is a fantastic photographer as well. And I really want to show some appreciation for this, because it's a huge difference on the one that we had before. We liked the Forth Rail Bridge, but he took a fantastic shot during the week, and I thought, yeah, that's going to be the perfect backdrop for us. Look at that. Now, that's our backdrop. You can see it there at the back of me, but you can actually see it there next to it. That is a fantastic photograph. So thanks for that, Lewis. I really appreciate that, for you taking that photograph. I'm going to use that all the time, definitely. So thank you very much. And as I said, guys, until next time, I'm Jim Parker for Fife Properties TV. Bye-bye for now.